Super Bowl?
Oh, so now you're gonna bring this shit. Here's the thing. Hey, Josh is on the Eagles or the Bengals. He wins this. It's facts.
Cam
If
Newton
he's
was
not
on
with
the
those
Panthers with Kelvin Benjamin as his number one wide receiver, and he went to a Super Bowl. So I don't want to hear this, Howard. You got Stephon Diggs.
Cam Newton doesn't put up half the stats Josh does. If he has
Stephon
Diggs. It's a different league. It was a different league. It's a different league back then. Different league.
Super Bowl ain't the MVP.
It don't matter.
Super Bowl MVP. Hey, Josh Allen got that Super Bowl. I mean, he got MVP yet.
Hey, how's Bryce Young doing?
Got MVP.
How's Bryce Young doing?
Huh?
Hey, how's CJ doing? It
don't
matter. I got a top 5.
Same as Josh Allen, who go get put out the first round. Welcome in to Stab Bounds, the sports podcast of the people. I'm your host, Corey P. here alongside Howard. How you doing, bro?
What's good, y'all? Glad to be back. That last week was something else, but decided to talk football with y'all.
Okay, well, what's up, bro?
Welcome back. Another week down, another week to go. Suns in action, Rugby NBA's back. Yeah, let's get it.
Hey, man, we know my Celtics going to win it all this year. You know,
I see what you did with the hat. I see what you tried to do with the hat. Stand your ground, bro. Stand your ground.
Yeah, so we've been keeping scores this year right now. Last week I happened to have a good week. Y'all had a pretty down week. Both of y'all went 5-7. I happened to go 8-4.
Really?
Yeah,
it was a pretty bad week. So right now where the standings stay at, me and K-Wall are both at 44 and 40. And Howard is at 49 and 35. So we slowly creeping up on Howard.
Bro, he has the script or something like that. There's those numbers are skewed.
Hey, but he had us blown out for a while, but now we're slowly creeping back up. A couple of good picks here, a couple of bad picks with him. We might be able to catch up, K-Wall.
Facts.
All right, so we got things going on in the NFL right now, and we're gonna start off, in Miami. Miami, they're having a pretty decent year. It seems like they can beat they are dog walking the teams they're supposed to, but they're having to lose to the teams that that are more superior. But I got a question for y'all. If Tyreek Hill don't win another Super Bowl, will he regret leaving the Chiefs? Even though he's putting up these monster numbers, even though, Tua get him the ball, will he regret leaving the Chiefs?
Career-wise, maybe. Personal-wise, and his own personal gain, I don't think so. Because I don't think the Chiefs could afford to pay him what Miami's paying him. And in Miami, he's the bona fide guy, the go-to. In Kansas City, as great as Tyreek was in Kansas City, as good as he was the third best guy on the team. You put Pat there, and Kelsey is he's the heartbeat of that squad. You know what I'm saying? So you could argue Kelsey and Tyreek, but I think Kelsey was the heartbeat of that squad, and things ran through Pat and Kelsey. You know what I'm saying? Though Tyreek put up a lot of great numbers in Kansas City. I mean, if he had his best statistical season ever last year. He had 119 catches for 1,700 yards, average of 14.4 yards a catch, and 7 TDs. Those are all pro numbers, shooing for all pro numbers. So I think, personally, I think he's happy in Miami. Yeah, he wouldn't mind going back to Kansas City, but he's not getting what he's getting now in Kansas City. I think if he doesn't win a ring, then there's a lot of guys that were great that never won a ring in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? There's a laundry list of guys that are great that never won a ring, and he already has one.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't regret this at all. And here's the reason why. The only time when you think about Hall of Fame and you start ranking players and rings coming to matter is QB and head coaches. Those are the ones, because they're the ones that always take the fall for teams. They're always ones that, when they're great, it's the quarterback. So when you're a wide receiver, it's just stats. It's just, what do you do for a team? And he is having his best life in Miami. Tax-free too. So you got the big contract. It's all tax-free. It's Miami. He lives in Miami. Not Kansas City, which, no offense to all you Chiefs fans, but hell, I wouldn't want to live in fucking Kansas City or Miami. Yes, I want to live in Miami. And he can do whatever he wants. He has free reign. If he didn't want to go to practice, What's Mike McDaniel going to do? Nothing. Mike McDaniel going to do nothing. So hell no. This is a perfect move for him in his career. Perfect. He won't regret nothing. He's living his best life.
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, we can say he won't regret it. Yeah, the money's good, but he would have got good money in Kansas City. And at the end of the day, it looked like but you don't get a chance to be put into that GOAT situation often. Pat Mahomes already done made Travis Kelce the GOAT tight end. You know, we honestly thought, well, me personally, I honestly thought I'll never see someone surpass Gronk, but Pat Mahomes was able to put Travis Kelce in that situation where he was able to surpass Gronk, and I feel like he probably would have been able to do the same thing where we might have been looking at Tyreek Hill as he could have been in a goal situation, and then especially if you putting up the numbers that you're putting up along with 3-4 rings. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like
I don't know. Like, I think what Howard said is like it kind of not everyone, not so much cares about it, but not everyone's like he said. Like for Pat, I think he's chasing that greatest of all time, the greatest. Tyreek can say he's chasing it, but I mean, dude, you're making 20-something plus million in Miami. You're the guy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, I feel you like 20-something million. 20-something million is like, yeah, but what he would have made maybe 19. Like you go like, or he probably in that 27.
But you never know though. Yeah,
he's in that 27 range. He's in that 27 range. Because I remember him and Devontae got that money around the same time, and they were like 27. So he probably would have made 24 in Kansas City. Or a bit taxed. But when you're making that much money a year, do it really matter? Like this is all I'm saying, right? There's a lot of there's situations where I don't necessarily know if it'll necessarily be a regret, but I feel like he'll come back to that realization. It's kind of like how Shaq say, "Oh man, I always had that like, what if me and Kobe would stay together? What if me and Penny would stay together?" I feel like it'll be more of that type of situation where he might come back around and have that. What if I would have stayed in Kansas City? What if I would have got?
Yeah, I mean, you can't help you're not going to help but think that every guy that's ever left to greener pastures to go be the guy, in the back of their mind, especially when it doesn't work out, because we see that all the time. When it doesn't work out, they're thinking like, "Damn, what would have happened if I could have stayed?" But I'm telling you, $27 million, that weather, that tax free, it'll make it a lot. Make your stomach it a little bit easier.
And plus, he already said he's finishing out his contract and he wants to be a porn star after this. So this just tells you this man is just trying to live life. Like he really doesn't care.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if I heard that. I heard that he wanted to be a gamer.
Look it up.
He said he wanted to be.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that. I didn't. He said he wanted to be a porn star. I swear to God. You would know where that are. You would know where the.
Yeah,
I find dirt on everybody.
I heard he got like a gaming company.
Little TMZ right there.
Yeah, he wanted to be a gamer, but I don't know, man. To me, it's just like as great as Tua is showing that he's a very competent quarterback. Tua is showing that he can get Tyreek the ball, and Tyreek, obviously got the yak, obviously. But at the same time, I bet you there are days where Tyreek, he boosts up Tua a lot, as he should. That's his quarterback. But I bet you there are days he go home and feel like, damn, it was a lot easier with Pat. And then him watching them get a Super Bowl last year, like, dang, what if I would have stayed? And then let's say if they win another one, he might be like, dang, I could be 3 Super Bowls in.
Boo-hoo. As you're driving home in your Lamborghini Aventador to Coconut Grove, Florida, and your 12,000 square foot mansion with your supermodel girlfriend. Damn.
Plural.
Like, bro, some people, you got to think, bro. Some people are content with what they got. You know what I'm saying? So not everyone's like chasing for glory like that, and he already got one. Yeah. He got one. So, like, really, it's like a weight lift off your shoulders. Like, okay, cool, I got one. And that's something you can take with you ever. How many times have we defended Flacco on this podcast? Like, he's got one. At least Flacco got one. Big Dick Nick. At least Nick got one. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all it takes for some guys because not everyone gets a ring. Yeah. There's plenty of guys who never got one.
No, I definitely agree with that. I mean, it's just, it's a conversation when you think about it. I mean, I know, he gonna be happy. The money's there, the money's good. He's gonna be happy no matter what. It's not like,
I think when he gets older though, towards the end of his career, because right now he's in his prime, he's chilling. I think towards the end of his career, them intrusive thoughts might come in.
You know where it's gonna come in at? I'm gonna tell you exactly where it's gonna come in at. When they're doing the Patrick Mahomes 30 for 30, and he's sitting there and they talking. and he's gonna be like, "Dang, what if I would have stayed?" I feel like that's where it's gonna come in. They're gonna be doing the Patrick Mahomes 30 for 30. And he gonna come in and he gonna say, "Oh, I love Pat, this, that, and the third, I just couldn't get the money right, but I wanted to stay in Kansas City, and what if and all this stuff." And it's like, I don't
I
know.
mean, they kind of they picked Chris Jones and Frank Clark basically over him because if either you was going to pay Tyreek and lose both of them, or you was going to read them, or I think it was you're going to extend Chris and keep Clark for another year and lose Tyreek. But you got to
Bro,
remember, bro, they had Me Cole. They had drafted Sky Moore. Did they draft Sky Moore? Yeah, they had drafted Sky Moore that year. So they had burners that they thought they could
and
turn
and,
into
and
Tyreek
they,
too.
they thought that could, and this is what I'm gonna tell you, bro. Bro, there ain't no sense, man. The NFL don't got a salary cap, bro. The NFL doesn't have a salary cap. They could have kept
They
all those
really
people if
don't.
they wanted to. It like for them to say the NFL has a salary cap is a joke because when the Rams say, "Hey man, I'm gonna pay everybody. I don't care,"
Facts.
you
Yeah,
know.
facts.
The Browns
The
are worst.
Browns, exactly.
Yeah.
The Browns, I'm gonna pay everybody. I don't care. We'll just figure it out later. There ain't no salary cap in the
No,
NFL.
that Rams one is wild. Especially if
Yeah,
you go back and look at that championship run, that defense,
yeah.
all those guys were in their prime and getting like premium money. They had like three of everybody. All those guys were in their primes. They was getting like premium money. Then you flip it. Jared Goff is getting paid. Gurley's getting paid. You had Cooper Cup, Wood. Like that squad was ridiculous. And then the offensive line was actually good back then too. So those guys get paid too. You're right. It is a enigma. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
they say, all right, we're gonna push it down the road, and then this, that, and the third, and we're just gonna move on. But all right, let's move on. All right, so okay, well, you have a team in Arizona, who they actually look a lot better than we thought they were gonna look this year.
Oh yeah,
We thought
facts.
we thought the Cardinals were gonna be in a similar position as the Panthers, 0 for right
Oh,
now, not really, putting out a good product.
I know I
in
wish.
the booty clapped.
But
Hey yo.
y'all team actually got
Hey
talent,
yo.
and the only thing that seems like y'all are missing is a quarterback, right? And right now they're saying Kyler Murray is completely healthy. They saying
Back.
he's ready to return. He may not return this week. He might return next week.
Doubtful.
So I got a question: is bringing Kyler Murray back this year the right choice?
If we lose enough games, then yeah, we got to be like 1-12 because you still got to show something when inevitably if you want to trade him, you still got to show that he's healed from the ACL. He can still read a defense, pre-snap, make audibles, throw passes, do all that jazz. You know what I'm saying? The risk you run though is if that motherfucker gets hurt, bro, it's done. It's done. So it's like a double-edged sword. It's like, yes, it makes perfect sense to bring him back and showcase him for the second half of the season. But if he gets hurt, you know what I'm saying? What you think you were gonna get from him, you're gonna get like half of that, and then half
Not
of that.
even. Yeah.
Because you got a quarterback who's like 5'10", 5'11", maybe with cleats on, maybe coming off 2 injuries. You know what I'm saying?
Wearing crop tops.
Already, exactly. Already doesn't have leadership skills. You know what I'm saying? You have to put something in his contract to make him watch film and read the playbook. You know what I'm saying? So immaturity, you're not going to give up a premium pick for that. You might as well just ride it out and suck and go and get a higher draft pick. You know what I'm saying? So if you plan on trading Kyler, you can't accept anything less than a second round pick, a high second round pick, or a late first at that. You know what I'm saying? From a team. But even then, some teams right now, like a lot of teams, they're getting by with these regular regulars. You know what I'm saying? Atlanta's getting by with Ritter game managing.
He's
San
horrible.
Francisco's getting by with Purdy game managing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of teams are getting by with game managers, and yeah, I agree. Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Bring him back, showcase him, so you could flip him and get one of these new guys in here.
Do,
At
do
the end of
you,
the day, go ahead.
so do you think right now with Murray would be an option?
I don't think so. I don't see why that would want to be an option. I think we're gearing towards a youth movement and starting over. You know what I'm saying? You see, we're starting to shed all those contracts that we shelled out these past 3 years of mediocrity. You know what I'm saying? Fooling ourselves like we were going to be something when we weren't even built like that, you know? So I think, yeah, it's time to kind of like change the guard. He's still very young. He hasn't even hit his prime yet. Let him go flourish somewhere else where somebody's ready for him because we're 3 years away from being 3 years away. You got to start this from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? Start this from the ground up. You know,
So
Hollywood, Ertz, him, Humphreys, uh, Buddha. Those guys deserve to be playing meaningful football somewhere else. They've earned that right to play meaningful football somewhere else, not sitting wasting away on a 1-6 or whatever like that, 1-5. I don't even pay attention anymore. I don't even know how bad they are. I just make sure I just check and make
1-6.
sure. Yeah, I just check in, make sure we lost, and then I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I can't succumb my heart to watch them take an ass whooping every Sunday, but I'll pray for it.
all right. So what team do you feel like would be willing to make a move like that? Because I got a couple in
Yeah.
mind. I mean, like maybe like I think Vegas maybe if like
Yeah, they come to mind. Vegas
maybe
depends
the
on what they're trying to.
Rams.
But I think Vegas is actually perfect. I think Vegas would be perfect because they're the type of team, like what I just said, of being mediocre, just keep spending, and not just doing a rebuild from scratch. They're the type of team that their pride won't let them do a rebuild. You know what I'm saying? So they're always going to spend money to roll out a squad to go out there and attempt to win something. So Vegas is an option because Jimmy
Atlanta.
G.
What about Denver? Denver maybe?
Nah, remember we've had this discussion. They're stuck
Oh
with
yeah.
Russ, bro. They're stuck with him. He ain't going nowhere, and they're stuck with him. I think Atlanta would be an option.
That's the best
You know,
spot. That's like
but
the
you
only
have
one.
to. That's going to be something that's going to happen like in the draft. If they fire Arthur
Yeah.
Smith, because Arthur Smith sold the front office on Ritter that he was the guy, take them there. You know what I'm saying? So if the second Arthur Smith benched Ritter, he kind of signs his own death warrant. That's why he's got to
But
ride him out with his kid.
Riddler, what he went in third round or fifth?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
It was
he's not
late.
ready. He needs some years to develop. And I don't know if Kyler Murray is the best guy to bring in to develop. But that team is ready to compete. You know what I'm saying? Like they're a very talented football team, and what's holding them back is their quarterback. Like a lot of squads. I think you could look at maybe Minnesota if they move on from Kirk this year. That's a possibility, possibly. You know, you've got who said it was the Rams, you said?
I said maybe the Rams. Give them a
Maybe.
year behind Stafford.
But see, the Rams is that they don't have the capital
Yeah.
to trade for
Yeah.
Murray. You know what I'm
I
saying?
think
You're waiting on
Tampa.
picks. Yeah. Tampa, if but they got Baker so cheap, you know, but they only signed him to a 1-year deal. So yeah.
Baker up out of there. What?
There's options, bro. I'm telling you, Tennessee, like there's numerous options. Every year when everyone thinks the quarterback rooms at every team is locked up, come the end of the year, teams start looking at guys differently if that record don't look right. You know what I'm saying? So something will open up. It's just the Cardinals GM has got to play his cards right and get something in return for him.
Oh, so
But you got to be sure. But the thing is, if you're going to trade him, you got to be sure the guy that you want to replace him is going to be there. Because if you trade him and you go to that draft and you miss out on your guy and you bring somebody else in there, you know what I'm saying, and they don't hit, now you're setting back the franchise like another 5 years, you know?
So do you think he's worth a first or second? Do you think a team will be
At this
willing?
moment, at this very moment, right now, today, Saturday, October 28th, no. He goes out there and plays out the rest of the season. You know, I don't need him to win. We just need to see that Kyler's still got the quickness. He's still a competent quarterback because this guy's a Pro Bowler too. He can still play at that level and elevate a team and make those throws. Then yeah, I mean, somebody desperate enough will give up a first for him. And if you don't get a first from him, you got to get a collection of day 2 picks, 2 seconds, 2/3, or something like that in that range, or address a part of your offense or defense, preferably on the line. Take a day 2 pick in a lineman, you know what I'm saying, from a team that has something to offer.
So, all right, do you think it's a good choice bringing him back?
Absolutely. So,
For his fantasy team, yeah.
well, that as well. I mean, hey, but to his point, to Kwell's point, it just makes too much sense. If you want to sell him, you have to showcase him. You know, you got to show, hey, he's still good. And trade wise, I think Washington will give up a second round pick. I think Tampa would. I think Atlanta would. I think there's 3 teams right there that would right now give a second round pick. If he plays well, it might be a second and a third. You know what I mean? So you have to showcase him, and let's not act like he's buns. Like Kyler Murray is
that's why I reassured that he's not buns, but he's not in that level. Like say if Pat Mahomes sat out last year and hasn't played all year, but they got him on the trade block, you're gonna give up a first for him. Josh Allen, you're gonna give up a first. Joe Burrow, Trevor Lawrence,
give up like
those guys.
12 first rounds.
Yeah, you're not. He's not in that class just yet.
Yeah.
But the thing is, he has a lot of deficiencies working against him to where he's got to show people before they make that price. He's not a proven commodity. at his stature. But go ahead. I'm sorry to cut you off. My bad. Go ahead.
But here's a big problem though. Here's a big problem. They already won one game, and I'm looking at the draft. And I look at the quarterbacks. Now we all like Caleb Williams, right? We think you got to take him if he's there, right? Drake May, and then after that, and after that, now we're starting to get to the question mark: is he really better than Kyler right now? Then you know what I mean. So you've already won one game. So if you play him and he wins 2 or 3 more games, like to your point, it's like
or he wins out.
Yeah, no. To your point, it's like now we're in a spot where we're picking like maybe the 3rd or 4th or 5th quarterback. Do we want it? No, you got to stick with him. Now, can you trade out of that pick, or do you trade up for a receiver? You know, because right now the Bears have number 1 and 2 locked. It looks like they're gonna get Caleb and they're gonna get Marvin Harrison Jr. and that's it. Now there's a receiver from Florida State. You can pair him with Kyler. Now you start looking at that because I think Kyler's gonna come in and win 2 games. I think he wins 2 games if he plays from not because he's not playing this week. Next week he'll probably start. I think he'll probably win 2 games. I look at all these other teams like the Bears, the Panthers, because the Bears have the Panthers pick. Do they win 3 games? I don't know. That's tough. So it's a double-edged sword. Like, is it too soon to bring him? Do we bring him back week 12? Do we bring him back week 13? You know, only let him play 4 games, so he only can possibly win 4 games. Or do we bring him back now and get chemistry with the team? And you know, maybe the coach is like, you know what, I like this guy. We're going to draft around him.
What I just realized is, you know, the trade deadline's Tuesday.
Oh yeah.
So if they had any intention of trading him in season, he would be playing Sunday to show something, just in case. Yeah. I don't think it happens in the season. I think it
definitely don't happen in the season. It's definitely a draft night move or before the draft move. I don't know. When I look at it, I just see it as kind of a lot of what Howard said. Like, if you don't get them first 2 quarterbacks, it's kind of like, at what point is it like, do you keep him? I mean, you already done paid him. You already done kind of locked his contract in. And as we said, Kyler's not like the worst quarterback out here. It wouldn't be a horrible idea. And even if y'all do trade him and y'all are not that 1 or 2, I'd rather have another season with Dobbs, to be honest, and see what quarterback comes after. You know, if y'all can't get them top 2 quarterbacks, because Dobbs not necessarily
he's not as bad as I thought, bro. He actually surprised me a little bit. He's actually got that dog in him. There's a lot to be left, you know, with his mechanics and his quarterback skill. You know what I'm saying? But he's doing his thing.
Yeah, so that would definitely be it. If y'all not able to get them top, if y'all did trade Kyler, I would see if I can get another 1st round pick, maybe a 2nd. You know, build on my line. That way, when that quarterback come in the year after, then he's ready to step into a place where it's like, all right, cool, I'm ready to step in. Because, you know, I feel like either y'all got to ride it out with Dobbs or y'all got to give Clayton Tune a chance. That's the whole thing I didn't really understand about.
I want to see him play. I want to see him because I looked up at that little thing you sent in our group chat about Clayton Tune, his little highlight mixtape. Dude can sling it. If they're just going to, you know, throw away the season, you know what I'm saying, and say not even showcase him at all, I'd throw Clayton Tune out there for a couple games just to see what he can do. I'm curious myself to see what he can do.
And I feel like that'd be the smart choice because I feel like that's the problem with what we did when we like gave up the whole everything for Bryce Young, right? We could have just went into the season, seen what Matt Corral was, and then waited till next year. But we decided, hey man, Bryce is going to be the guy, which I don't know. He could be in the future. He couldn't. Who knows? But I'm just saying, like, we could at least gave Matt Corral a year to. The problem Matt Corral got hurt last year, so we couldn't throw him out there and see.
Yeah, last year would have been the perfect year to establish some kind of ground, but that was a freaking circus last year. Facts.
All right, so moving on. So I got a question for, you know, the Bills Mafia, aka Howard. You know, right now we're looking into right now. We're in the age of the quarterback. There is a lot of nice young quarterbacks in the league right now. You get your notes ready. With that being said, I got a question, and this is a legitimate question: is Josh Allen still a top 5 quarterback in the NFL?
So, you know, I understand why this question is popping up. So I'm not even like upset about it because the team is struggling and as I said earlier, the team struggles. We always look at two people, the coach and the quarterback. I get it. But I had to put some numbers together. I had to find some stats to prove myself right and not wrong because, yes, he is a top 5 quarterback. And in my humble opinion, he's still top 3. Now, where you put him in that 3 is to me, it's where you put him in the top 3 is up to you. I think.
Who's your top 5? Who's top 5 for you right now? I'm just curious.
Pat Mahomes is still number 1. I mean, you really can't argue anything about that. And then right now, I mean, the way Lamar's playing, he's in there for the top 3. And then Josh. And after that, it's crazy, but I think somehow this man has found his way, and there's Tua, even though I don't think he's top 5. He just statistically, he has to be in there. And then I'm not even giving it to Justin Herbert anymore. I'm tired of this man. He is 6. Herbert's 6 until he wins a playoff game.
So
Lawrence?
this
Joe
Trevor? Burrow.
Let me ask you this.
So then if that's your top 5, are we going off of what they're doing this year? Or are we just going off of what we know they're capable of?
Here we go. Here's my statistical range. Why everything's in here.
If we're going off statistics, Josh Allen is on pace to break a record of interceptions.
Anyways, so he's top 5.
You like that one?
He's top 5 in QBR, rating, pass rating, total TDs, and completion percentage. He's number 1 in total TDs. It's number 2 in QBR, number 5 in passer rating, and number 3 in completion percentage. And that's not taking in last week's game.
Where's he ranked in anticipated turnovers and actual turnovers?
That shit don't matter.
Oh, okay.
So QBR is a stat that puts in turnovers, right? And he's number 2. Number 1 is Pat, and the closest person behind him is like 5 points less than him. And QBR, that's huge. That's huge. And so turnovers, you look at some of these turnovers. The turnover against the Bucs game, right? Is that on him, or is that guy make a good play? All right, so there's 1.
You threw
the 3 in the Jets game.
When you throw the bro, you can't be like that's not on him because he threw it. The defender tipped it, and then the same team happened to catch it. He's the one who threw the ball. That's a stat that's going to go against him.
Okay, he's still got 22 touchdowns, which is by far the most in the league. Against, I think he's got 7 or 8.
He don't trust nobody.
That's like somebody that's like in the NBA, somebody going up for a layup, throwing some bullshit up, and just because you hit it after it hits the glass, you get 2 points.
Bro,
that's the 2 points.
It's like when Cam Newton was with us, right? When Cam Newton, listen.
That's crazy.
No, listen. When Cam Newton was with us, anything within the 5, Cam Newton was taking in. Anything within the 5 to 10 yard line, Josh Allen is taking in.
He hasn't ran.
Yeah, that's smart.
Last game was the first time he started running off script.
And I think he needs to go back to running like that, running out of bounds and taking the slides. Because it keeps the defense honest. You see how opened up the field was when they thought there was a threat he was going to run?
And it's the coach. And here's what I'm going to say. The coaching is horrible. I think the reason I am more impressed with Josh Allen is the play calling and the coaching from the offensive coordinator is, I think it's brutally bad. And I'm pretty sure every Bills fan is going to say the same thing. And for him to still be putting up these numbers with the play calling that is horrible. I mean, we have 1st and goal from the 2, and we have a quarterback who can just reach the ball over the end zone. And we play 4 straight passes in the shotgun. You have Jalen Hurts, who everyone hates tush push. You're telling me not one of the 4 times we're not going to, let's just give it to Josh and push him over. We did it during the game. We did it for a 3rd and 1.
It seems like you're blowing off some steam here, bro. Who's your top 5, right?
I told you it is.
He's venting off.
Okay, let me ask you. So these are where it comes in question, right? We obviously got Pat. Pat is number 1, all right? Joe Burrow getting healthy. These past couple of games, Joe Burrow he had a bye last week, but when he looked healthy that last game, I honestly might look at him over Josh Allen right now.
All right, so here's another thing.
Look, because this is the thing. This is the thing, Howard. What happens with Josh Allen, and it should. It should. We get so enamored with Josh Allen's physique and how big he is and how he got a strong ass arm. False. But we get so enamored. That's where we get enamored by him. It's just Josh Allen. Oh, he's 6'5".
But that's what I'm asking. That's what I
He
keep
got a
saying.
strong arm.
Are we going off of top 5 of what they're doing right now? Because Joe Burrow doesn't belong in anyone's top 5 right now. If we're going off of what they're doing stats wise right now, or are we going off of the player himself, what we know that they're capable of, top 5 quarterback? Because now you have to separate the two classes.
Because if
we're doing off a top 5 of what we know, you go Pat, you go Josh Allen, you go Lamar. I throw Hurts in there, and it's between Burrow, Lawrence, and Herbert. More or less, Burrow and Lawrence.
So you don't order. So you don't got
5.
Lamar. You don't got Lamar in there.
I said,
Yeah.
You go Pat, Allen, Lamar, Hurts, and Herbert or Burrow on that 5. If we're going off of just what we know that they're capable of doing, if we're going off stats from this year, Trevor's in the top 10. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If we're going off stats from this year alone,
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you the honest truth. And this, if and I told you this the other day. If Carolina had, let's say, a number 1 pick, right, and it was between Josh Allen and Trevor Lawrence, I would probably want them to take Trevor Lawrence.
You're crazy.
And that
You're absolutely crazy.
Yo, Trevor Lawrence arm talent better than Josh Allen.
You're crazy.
And we're not talking about throwing it 70 yards. We're talking about
crazy.
We're talking about putting it on the dot. I'm taking Trevor Lawrence.
He's got the best completion ratio in the league. I don't understand.
Yo, what did we talk about with Trevor Lawrence? His wide receiver dropped. How many touchdowns has you got Trevor Lawrence in your fantasy league? You watch Trevor Lawrence all the time.
I'm not gonna lie, Zay Jones, wherever you are, dude, fuck you. He's dropped 3 touchdowns week 1. Calvin Ridley dropped 2 week 1. Trevor should have thrown 7 TDs on Sunday, week 1. Okay, but look, this is what I'm saying though.
In the London game,
if we're going off of stats of what people are doing this year, right now, at this very moment, today, right? It's Pat, Lamar, Allen, Hurts, and Tua, without a question of a doubt. If we're going off of what they do for their team, record-wise, all stuff like that, it's those 5 guys, and then everyone else behind them. Herbert has a shit record. Tua or Trevor Lawrence is trending up, but you can't count stats that didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? They dropped it. It counts against him too. You know what I'm saying? And Burrow's on his way ramping up. Now, if we flip it and we go off of just embodiment of work and what we know, like physique and agility, ability, arm talent wise, then you go Pat. I guess you could go. Yeah, you could go Josh number 2, Lamar, Hurts, and then you throw Burrow.
Let me ask you, what are y'all enamored by? Are y'all enamored by?
Hey, here's the thing.
No, I'm asking you. No, I'm asking a legit question.
I'm going to tell you right now.
I'm asking a legit question. This is a legit question. Are we enamored by the fact that he can throw it 70 yards, or are we enamored by his quarterback skills? Because
I'm quarterback, by both. Because
as a quarterback, I'm telling you.
If you're asking
Joe
Josh
Burrow is better
Allen,
than him as a quarterback. As a quarterback, Joe Burrow healthy is better than him.
If Josh Allen had that team in the Super Bowl, he wins that Super Bowl, hands down, no question. That Super Bowl is going to Cincinnati.
Negatory. He makes too many.
Hands down.
He makes too many mistakes.
Hands down.
This is what I'm saying. In a defense of Josh Allen, right? In defense of Josh Allen, this has nothing to do with Howard's fetish for him, right? Is there a throw that you could drop on a play chart that you don't trust him that he can make, arm talent wise, with Josh Allen? You can't sit here and tell me that. No, you can't.
That he
can make any throw that he can't make.
Yo, he throw picks all the time.
No, that's what I'm saying.
That he can't. Okay, that he can't make. Yes. Okay, he can make every throw.
All right. Yes. Right. Do you trust him? Do you trust him to run a 2-minute drill and march you down and get you into field goal range?
Why? Okay. Why hasn't Josh Allen been to a Super Bowl yet? And I'm gonna ask that. No,
he plays in a gauntlet.
Joe Burrow made it to a Super Bowl. Joe Burrow beat Pat at Pat's house and made it to a Super Bowl. We're not about to sit here and give Josh Allen a
intangibles. There's a lot of things that went into that win,
bro.
I'm just saying there's a lot of things that went into that win.
We didn't get the ball last. We didn't get the ball. Oh, they got to get the ball in overtime. Fuck that,
I'm not negating.
Only
Joe Burrow's in my top 5, and I just said outside of Pat, there's no order for the top 5. Pat's number 1. The other 4 guys, you can mix and match them however you want, but they're in there. The only person who's de facto number 1 is Pat Mahomes.
So Jalen Hurts is not better. So Jalen Hurts is not better.
Jalen Hurts is in my top 5, bro.
Forget this. You want to act like there's not no order. You want to act like there's not no order.
Okay, you want me to put in order?
Go.
Off of what I feel today, right now, what the top 5 is: Pat Mahomes, Lamar, Hurts, Allen, and you could throw Trevor Lawrence in that top 5. But it's a 5: Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie with him, Burrow,
Pat
and
Mahomes.
Herbert.
So you said Pat Mahomes, Lamar, Joe,
No, Pat Mahomes, Lamar, Jalen Hurts,
Hurts.
Allen, and then I said Burrow. I said Trevor Lawrence.
So even though
I
Joe
think
done
he's
been to a
outplaying.
Super Bowl, even though Joe done took his team to a Super Bowl,
You
and we're not
asked
about
me
to see
about right now. Are you talking about stat? This is what I'm saying.
Look, because if you let's talk stats. Let's talk stats. Like what? Like when we talk,
If we're talking stats, then Tua's in there now. If we're talking stats, Tua's in the top 5.
okay, and then Josh Allen, he not winning more than Trevor.
I don't think Joe Burrow is so much more talented than Trevor Lawrence or Herbert. I think he just has great receivers like Tua does.
Somebody got to make the throws without throwing interceptions.
Bro, so
you acting like Diggs. Diggs.
No.
Wide receiver. So
Joe
we're not about to act like Diggs not
I get
top
it.
3.
He doesn't have the interceptions that Josh Allen doesn't have, but Joe Burrow does throw some janky balls. He just hasn't been punished for it yet. Okay,
Diggs has been a top 3 receiver. So we're not about to act like his talent.
You've seen Herbert go out there and have a day where he throws 3 picks.
Diggs is a top 3 receiver, correct?
So is
arguably the best receiver in the league.
Huh?
T. Higgins starts day 1 for anybody else in the league.
And then Joe Mixon.
When I was talking about Gabe Davis, and Gabe Davis asked, "What were you telling me? Oh, did you see him in that AFC Championship game? Oh man, he had 2 touchdowns. Oh, you see how he was burning people? So why?
So look.
Why now is Gabe Davis asked?
Who is your Who is your top 5 car stats and your top 5 just embodiment of work? Play your top 5 QBs.
Right now, what I have Pat.
Stats.
Y'all are we going stats or what?
Stats first, and then your the other stuff that makes them up or whatever.
Because if you ask me my top 5 right now, I take Josh Allen number 6. I say he's number 6.
Crazy.
I say I got Pat. Joe hasn't been healthy, but when we saw Joe healthy the past week, he was looking like the top 5 quarterback that he is. I got Lamar.
So Joe number 2.
I got Lamar. Well, not number 2. So number 2 would be Lamar. Number 3 would be Hurts. Number 4 would be Trevor, and number 5 would be Joe.
I'm going to tell you this right now. If Josh Allen had T. Higgins and Jamar Chase and Joe Mixon, there would never be a 7-game stretch where he's thrown 7 touchdowns and 4 interceptions.
No, you can't say that because you can't say that. That's on Josh Allen in practice, not getting getting a rapport as receiver. That's on the offensive coordinator, not drawing up anything other than just Diggs. That game that they lost to that game that they played against New York Giants and they barely scraped and won, it was so predictable. All he's going to do is throw it to Diggs.
And then the fact that he do got Mixon, that takes away. Josh Allen is going to get every touchdown. So we're never going to win. We're never going to win an argument off stats. Because Josh Allen going to get every touchdown. Y'all, what y'all gonna do? Y'all gonna let James Cook run the ball 2 plays, and then for the rest of the game, for the rest of the drive, gonna be Josh Allen throwing the ball. So we're talking stats. Y'all offense, the way y'all run your offense is going to be Josh Allen do everything.
There's only 2 players that have an offense like that: Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen. The rest of the league, nobody counts on their quarterback for more. So I don't know how you can say Joe Burrow.
I'm not gonna lie, Herbert. They do a lot with that with Herbert.
And where has it got him? Where has it got him?
I don't know if Herbert can carry that on his shoulders.
He can't.
It's gotten him nowhere.
No. But you said no other offense. I'm saying they do it a lot with Herbert. I'm saying they do.
No. If we're talking about that, then that's every guy we just named. What the fuck is the Bengals gonna do if you take Joe Burrow off the field? Even Joe Burrow,
he's got 7 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. I mean,
Joe Burrow at 40% gives you a better shot to win than anybody sitting behind him. You know what I'm saying? You take Tua off there and you throw in Jacoby Brissett or whatever backing him up.
I see Skylar Thompson throw some dots.
I'm just saying, Skylar Thompson, they're running the ball now. If Skylar Thompson comes in, like they did with y'all in the playoffs, they ran the hell out of the ball. You know what I'm saying? So you can't say that they're more. Now, do you guys put a lot of pressure on their quarterbacks to make plays, and it lives and dies by what these guys do every Sunday? Yeah, I think Kansas City is trying to shift it more to a group thing. But if Pat want to go out there and throw it 60-something times and not run the ball once, they're going to throw it. Same with Josh Allen. I think that would be music to the coordinators here. If Josh Allen says, I don't want to run the ball today, let's just throw it the entire game. Because there's times when it's 3rd and 2, Howard, and y'all throwing 40-yard bombs. There's times when it's 4th and 1. You're throwing 17-yard crosses.
Look. I don't want to come off as like Josh Allen hate, and I feel like Josh Allen will probably by the end of the year could be back in that top 5. Yes.
Yeah, he's not playing to his best of his abilities right now, but we know what the guy's capable of. That's why when we are talking about the top 5 of what we know these guys are capable of, Josh Allen is a shoo-in, along with Hurts, Lamar.
I just feel like we get very enamored by like the size of Josh Allen. I feel like we get very enamored by the size of Josh Allen.
Hey,
bro. Yo, all right, whatever. But the fact that he could throw 70 yards, I feel like that is where we get enamored by. Like
Pat can do that too, and we know Pat's great.
No. There's probably only 2 quarterbacks that can throw 70 yards on the dot.
Baker.
No,
Baker can throw it 70 yards. Baker has a fucking cannon.
On the line. You seen that ball had to go up in the air. On the line, it's Herbert and it's Allen. They're the only 2 that can really throw it on a like line 70 yards.
So what makes Burrow so much better than those 2 guys? Then is what I'm asking. I'm just wondering.
This is why I'm
because Burrow's actually really slow, right? And I'm just wondering, is it because they win a lot of games?
I feel like Burrow processes faster than Josh Allen.
Well, all these guys are you could say the same thing about Aaron Rodgers. You can say the same thing about Tom Brady. When you talk Rodgers and Brady, you can say the same thing.
Rodgers exactly. Who is the better quarterback between Brady and Rodgers? Who is the better quarterback?
Brady had the better career. Talent-wise, I think Rodgers was better.
Who is the better quarterback? Brady or Rodgers?
I'm going with Brady.
Okay, Brady. Exactly. Because Brady can process faster and get the ball out to the right person quicker. So the same thing with Burrow and Allen. I feel like Burrow can process and get the ball out to the right receiver faster. He don't have to sit back and rely on his physical ability where he can stiff arm 2 or 3 guys off him and just. So quarterback-wise, I say Burrow is a better quarterback.
Here's the thing. I don't think it matters because the league is going into such an athletic quarterback. Burrow will be done in 3 years, I think. I think he's going to get
now you're walling. Now you're walling.
I do. I don't think if you can't move,
move. He's not like going to. Burrow can get out the pocket. If you need a 5-yard run, Burrow can get that.
Well, if Burrow has such great processing time, they need to drop some plays where he can get the ball out of his hands fast. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
to save him, to protect him, because no matter how much money they spend on that offensive line, it's always trash every single year.
Exactly.
Every year.
And to me, I don't know, bro. I personally would say I'm saying Joe is better right now. I'll say Lamar is better.
Okay, so who is Joe better? Just to clarify, I just want to know right now, who are you taking Joe Burrow over? If we're doing a draft, right? Pat Mahomes is off the board. You got Joe Burrow and the rest of the guys you talked about. And you're taking Joe Burrow.
So before Joe Burrow, I'm taking Lamar. I'm taking Trevor. I'm taking them 2 before I take Joe. Then it comes down to Hurts and Joe. And then that's where it's going to get tricky for me. But I'll probably say that's where I'll take Joe at. And then I'll take Hurts. That's what I'll do. Personally.
I personally would take Allen over Hurts. I think I could imagine Josh Allen in a tush push in Philly. Imagine Josh Allen on the Eagles. The amount of stats he would put, the crazy stats he would put.
God. Would it be that much different? Why we'll make that team different?
No, I'm not discouraging what Jalen Hurts does.
But look at
that game against the Jets. Look at the game against the Jets, right? 2-minute offense. They got to throw the ball, right? Jalen Hurts looks shook.
Look at the game with the Bills against the Jets.
He ran him down the field.
What are we talking about, bro?
He ran him 2-minute offense. He ran him down the field.
Look at the game with the Bills against the Jets.
Josh
the Bills against the Jets. Okay, no, because it went to overtime. This will be a measuring stick. And Josh Allen got the ball.
Okay, so this will be a measuring stick this week with Trevor Lawrence going up against Pittsburgh because that's a tough defense. They just shut down Matt Stafford, Cooper, and Puka. Puka did his thing, but we'll see.
So it went to overtime, right? Am I right though? Against the Jets, it went to overtime.
They won it on a kickoff return. There's nothing you can do.
No, but Josh Allen had a chance to take it downfield.
What?
Yes.
Facts. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Okay.
There's no wrong answer to this. But where you got Josh Allen to rank this, kind of like you're
It's
kind of
blasphemy.
wild, bro. Like
Yeah, it's blasphemy.
I'm not even trying to. I'm not even trying to be Team Buffalo either. I'm just being like off of what I know. I don't think he's that far down the totem pole.
It sits terrible.
Top 5.
Absolutely.
You got to be in the top
He's
5.
top 5.
Bro. You would cut off your left nut. There's every team in the league not having Pat Mahomes and some of the guys we just named would cut off. I'm pretty sure if it came down to Hurts or Allen, I'm not saying they would do it, but I'm pretty sure they would think about it for a second. Think about it.
Look.
You would think about it.
I would definitely.
Especially Lamar. Lamar during his contract. What? You think they would have been fucking around with Lamar? No, they'd give that money to Josh Allen so fast.
So this is what I'm saying, right? This is what I'm saying, right? Pat, Joe, Hurts been to Super Bowls. I feel like yo, and the fact that Hurts had to go through, it's not like he
person that won a Super Bowl out of the guy you named was Pat.
Okay, but I'm saying they got their team over the hump. Yo, Joe was able to beat Pat to get to a Super Bowl. He was able to get his team over the hump. Some Josh Allen hasn't done yet. Facts or not?
Facts.
Okay then. Right now we're gonna look. Now it come down to Lamar, Trevor, and Allen. Right. To me, I feel like as a passer and all that, I would personally take Trevor over Allen. And when it comes to Lamar, I feel like Lamar is just a slight bit more dangerous than
Josh has beat him in the playoffs, and he's undefeated against Lamar. But
But Lamar's damn near a track athlete. You know
he been to a Super Bowl.
Oh, so now you're gonna bring this shit. Here's the thing. Hey, Josh is on the Eagles or the Bengals. He wins the Super Bowl. It's facts.
Cam Newton was on the Panthers with Kelvin Benjamin as his number 1 wide receiver, and he went to a Super Bowl. So I don't want to hear this, Howard. You got Stephon Diggs.
Cam Newton doesn't put up half the stats Josh does. If he has Stephon Diggs.
It's a different league. It was a different league. It's a different league back then. Different league.
Super Bowl, he's the MVP.
It don't matter.
Super Bowl MVP. Hey, Josh Allen got that Super. I mean, he got MVP yet.
Hey, how's Bryce Young doing?
Got MVP.
How's Bryce Young doing? Huh? Hey, how's CJ doing? It don't matter. I got a top 5.
Same as Josh Allen, who go get put out the first round.
Hey.
No, let's move on. Let's move on. We ain't gonna get nowhere.
Next time, you petty.
Let's move on. All right. So the add on will the Bills ever win the Super Bowl?
Will Justin Fields ever win a Super Bowl?
Yeah, no. Will the Bills ever win the Super Bowl?
Oh, I was like, bro, what? What kind of question is that?
No.
One day.
Will the Bills ever win a Super Bowl?
One day.
It's kind of like that. It's kind of like with Pat Mahomes and the Chiefs. It's like being in the East when LeBron was on the Cavs at the height of his powers, and when LeBron went to Miami. It's just like, dude, you could even have a better record than the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? And you just still got to go through them, and it's just not going to happen. I don't know. It sucks that this is when Josh Allen's here. If he would have got here a couple years earlier, maybe. It's just going to be tough for all those guys. Lamar, Burrow, Allen, Tua, all them guys. Deshaun, if you want to throw them in there. There's a lot of good teams in the AFC, and I just feel like the AFC runs through the Chiefs, and you can't negate it either, Howard. I know you hate hearing this, but you can't negate it. Because will they ever, in our lifetime, will they ever win one in our entire lifetime? Yes, they should. Yeah. God,
this is a question. Yeah.
Now, if we're talking about the next 10 years, how does Pat?
Like 26. Yeah. So obviously I'm talking the Josh Allen era, which is what we got another 10, 12 years of this, 10 to 12 years probably.
Let's do 5 years. All right. Let's do 5 years, and let's play it out like this, right? Pat's under contract for the rest of his life, damn near, right? Joe Burrow's locked up, Lamar's locked up, Justin, all these guys are locked up, so they're gonna be seeing each other a lot for the next 5 years, right? I think as the years will go on, the Bills will, unless they can resupply the cupboards, you know what I'm saying? Josh will always be good, but the team that they needed to win, that defense is only getting older. Hyde, Poyer, Trede, those guys are getting older, right? Diggs is in his 30s now. So that window is ever so closing a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So it's got to really, it would rather be this year or the next year. Anything after that, then, budget cuts start coming into place. Herbert has a lot of room to grow, but a lot of his weapons are old. Look at Mike Williams. I mean, chronically injured in his 30s. Keenan, 30s. Eckler, getting to that age point. You know what I'm saying? Derwin James is still relatively young. Same with Bosa, but those guys don't score you 24 points a game, right? Burrow's in a great situation. He's got all his guys he can grow with outside of Mixon, but you can replace him. It's been proven you can replace those guys any day. Lamar got guys he can grow with. You know what I'm saying? I just
So
I gotta see what Pat looks like when Kelsey finally hangs up his cleats. But I think it'll have to happen down the road. It'll have to
so
be down the road.
so this I feel like we're
In the next 5 years, no. I'm gonna say no, not in the next 5 years. No, I'm
I
sorry.
feel like we're looking at our childhood again, right? When it was the Brady era, in between you had them certain ones break through. You had Peyton break through a couple of times. You had Ben break through a couple of times. And but that's the thing. Are we looking at Josh Allen? Is he going to be Ben Roethlisberger, who can break through, get a couple of rings in between Pats? Maybe Pat have a couple of down years. He can have through a couple of years, or is he going to be Philip Rivers, who never get the chance? You know, and that's kind of what we're looking at when we're looking at the Bills. Like, bro, I'm not even talking shit. Like, yo, I'm not even talking shit. What I'm saying is, like, and even though we just had that conversation about like, all right, is he top five, whatever. I do personally believe in the talent of Josh Allen. I'm just, just for me because top six is not bad. For me to say he's number six is not bad. Yo, this guy, it's not bad.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
And I personally do believe in the talent of Josh Allen. Like me personally, do I see him as, I don't see him as the Peyton Manning of, I feel like, when it's Brady, Peyton.
So is he Philip?
Yo, stop. So I don't see him so when it's Brady, Peyton, and Ben, I don't see him as the Peyton Manning, but I do see him. He could be a Ben Roethlisberger, where y'all.
And that's not a bad analogy because Ben is big just like him. He just didn't have the athleticism. That's not a bad analogy.
Yeah, so I feel like with that, do I feel like eventually y'all probably going to get a new coach that come in to pretty much help Josh take that step? Yeah, probably. And I feel like once y'all get the right coach for Josh Allen, y'all probably could make that step and win a Super Bowl.
I think what they should try and do, and I doubt Cincinnati does it, is try and get T. Higgins now and replace that number one guy. Eventually, you know what I'm saying? Replace him now so you don't have to go looking for him down the road. Because Diggs is a special talent. Let's not take anything from him. He's a special receiver, special talent, one of those top 5, top 10 guys. You know what I'm saying? That's hard to replace. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like that getting Kincaid was really good for them. I feel like that was a move that gave him a good number 2.
And now they have when they go to it, they have a run game with James Cook. You know what I'm saying?
But I feel like he'll eventually break through? I do feel like he'll eventually break through. Next 5 years, maybe not the next 5 years. But do I feel like he'll break through? Maybe like within the next 8? Yeah, I do. I feel like he'll break through. He'll probably get 1, 2.
It's like, damn, that's a long time to wait.
Because at the end of the day, y'all gonna have to retool. Y'all gonna have to retool that defense eventually. Because you gotta realize Matt Milano, he's gonna come back, but he's not getting any younger. And coming off, he tore his Achilles? Or was it ACL or his Achilles?
He did. We don't know. He didn't say he broke his leg.
Oh, he broke his leg.
So we good.
So it might take like a year for him to get back to like his, his form.
You got Poyer, Hyde, Tre'Davious White, Von Miller.
What happened with Trey Day?
He tore his ACL.
ACL again?
Achilles.
Oh, Achilles. Yeah, it was Achilles. All right. So do I feel like next 5 years? I ain't gonna lie. We're looking at the Pat Mahomes Invitational, and then I feel like Joe may be able to break through one of these years. I feel like Lamar may, and then I feel like Josh Allen he gonna eventually break.
They just have to get here because whoever comes out of this AFC is going to be the most battle challenged team going to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Because in the NFC, who are you really going through in the NFC? The Niners, maybe the Cowboys, the Eagles, and now the Lions, right?
Yeah.
We just named off like 10 teams in the AFC.
That's the only problem because with Trevor going to constantly get better. We seeing CJ Stroud. He's honestly, looking decent.
Rookie of the year.
Yeah. So who knows how you feel about this?
Yeah, they would. And the reason is because we are getting older. but we're pretty good at getting rid of these guys and replacing them. I mean, Dalton Kincaid, that's a hell of a draft pick. Got Khalil Shakir. Our GM, Brandon Bean, I don't care what anyone says. Brandon Bean is a wizard. Bro, we got rid of Tremaine Edmonds, and we bring in this dude that everyone said, oh, he can't play middle linebacker. Right now, Bernard is statistically one of the best middle linebackers in the game. And he was a third-round pick. Matt Milano, fifth-round pick. We got picks. We've got a good GM. We're going to be able to get talent around this guy. James Cook, I don't know. I like him. I like Kincaid a lot. I think this might be – I'm not going to say he's going to be his Travis Kelce, but he might be the number one when Diggs is gone. Khalil Shakir might have to step into that number 2 role. I don't know.
And you're saying the next 5 years? Are you saying the next 5 years?
I like us the next 5 years.
And all right, so
because injuries are going to happen to every team.
True.
So we got the injury bug last 2 years. It's going to happen.
So for you as a fan, in the next 5 years, how many do you see?
One. I'm not going to say, yeah, we're going 5 for 5.
I ain't going to say 5 is crazy.
But I think one of these years we get lucky and teams get hurt like us, and we finally get that path, that crazy path that gets us there.
I think they go to a Super Bowl within the next 10 years. I don't think they win one though in the next 5. It depends. It's the NFL. Anything can happen. They could catch the Chiefs on a bad day, which, like you said, Joe Burrow caught them on a bad day, right? They just have to get there.
Yeah, Joe Burrow just went there and whooped their ass. But do you think Josh Allen get a Super? I mean, do you see Josh Allen get an MVP in the next 5 years too?
I mean, right now he's got pretty good odds to win it this year. I mean, shit. Look at the fucking numbers.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. All right, so moving on. Did you?
What do you mean? He plays Patrick Mahomes. He plays Joe Burrow. He plays all these people still. He beats them head to head. He plays Jalen Hurts. He beats all those guys head to head. I mean, there's not really.
Facts. Yep.
You know what I mean?
If the team beats the team, then Josh Allen most likely had something to do with it. So yeah, he probably gets a nod.
Definitely. He already smoked Tua.
Exactly. I'll think the same thing. So let me ask you. All right. So final thing we're gonna talk about today. Will another Super Bowl make Pat Mahomes the GOAT, or will it just make him the greatest of this generation?
Well, most of our generation was spent with number 12 winning championships. So
until he kind of like the last generation. I mean, he kind of in the past generation. This generation.
Yeah. I mean, to be the GOAT, bro, he'd have to at least get close to what Tom did. You know what I'm saying? Tom is in a whole nother stratosphere right now. But is he on his way? Yeah, he's definitely on the right track. Because how many rings has he got? You got 2 already?
Yeah, two MVPs. 3 Super Bowl appearances.
3 Super Bowl appearances. I mean, yeah, he can't lose another Super Bowl if he wants to. Tom only lost. How many did Tom lose?
3, 4, 3.
3? Okay, well then, yeah. 3. He lost 2. 2 or 3.
Yeah, 2 Eli, 1 Nick.
He's on his way. I can't declare him the GOAT. Now, if we're talking about this generation, this crop of quarterbacks that we're talking about right now, that we're like in our age range, then yeah, he is the GOAT of our group. He is by far leaps and bounds the GOAT.
All right, Howard, what you think about this?
He's not going to beat. I don't think anyone touches Tom Brady. I mean, he's going to be the 7 Super Bowls. That's pretty fucking impossible. I don't think anyone's going to touch that one. But after the Tom Brady generation, if he wins a 3rd one, I don't see. There might be another quarterback that wins 3. I don't know. It's going to be tough. So I think at that point, yeah. But it's hard to predict. Because fuck, man, tomorrow this dude can go tear his ACL and it's done. Or you know what I mean? So yes, if he wins a 3rd, he's probably solidified himself as, hey, after Tom, it was Pat. After Pat, it's someone else. But
so this is the reason I asked this question, because a lot of people was giving Aaron Rodgers the title of GOAT, even though he didn't have but 1 Super Bowl. And, as a talent, they'll say he's better than Tom, whatever. But so that's why I asked, do you think another Super Bowl, because I honestly, if we're looking at rankings, I'll say Pat is better than Aaron Rodgers. And, so if we're going to give, not stats, if we're looking just at his play in general, though, he's better than Aaron Rodgers. So I'm just trying to figure out, do that make him in that conversation for the GOAT, or is he just going to go down as the greatest of this generation that's happening now?
Joe
But
Montana got 4. So
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like it's tough. I think he has to at least match or get close like 6 before he's talked to Tom Brady level. Because Tom Brady did it with 2 different teams,
I think
2
I
different
think he
coaches.
has to. I think at the bare minimum he's gonna have to match him because you're gonna have that old generation being like, well, he doesn't have as many rings as Tom. You know what I'm saying? You can't say he's better. You know what I'm saying?
kind of
He's
like the
gonna have
Jordan,
to.
kind of like the Jordan LeBron conversation.
Yeah, he's gonna have to match him because that's the only thing you could say to put Jordan over LeBron. Even though LeBron's broken almost every record the NBA has ever put in place, you still got those guys say, well, how many rings has he got? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So there's gonna be that talk, you know. So he's gonna have to match him. But to get like Howard said, to get 7 rings, bro,
7
like
is
that means
crazy.
you gotta have 7 perfect teams.
Yeah, 7 is crazy.
Some teams don't. Some teams don't even have one that takes them all the way. You know what I'm saying? That's how hard it is. You could rip off 7 rings in the NBA. Like if you really put your mind to it, you could rip off 2-3 years of winning a ring, like the Warriors did. You know what I'm saying? By just being OP as hell.
Yeah,
NFL, it's so many different facets that go into winning every game. Hitting that last minute 58-yard field goal to go to the next round. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so many different variables in place to where you could
thanks.
lose. You know.
All right, so let's get on into our picks so we can close out this show today. All right, Houston, Carolina.
Houston.
Yeah, I'm going to go Houston. I wanted to go Carolina so bad. I wanted
I
to.
feel like if we're ever going to get a win this season, I feel like this is going to have to be the game. So I'm gonna go
But
Carolina.
you know Houston's getting up for this one.
And both teams are though. Both
got
teams are
to.
getting up. Yeah.
I mean, we're both coming off a bye. I feel like if we're ever going to win a game this season, it's got to be it, or we're going to be an 0-14. All right, New England, Miami.
I thought Miami was playing it. Yeah, Miami. God damn it.
Yeah, they're back in my. If this game was in New England, I think about New England, but yeah, I'd take Miami.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Miami in this one too. Jets versus Giants.
Jets.
Jets.
I'm gonna go Giants because Tyrod's playing again this week. You know, they like a different team with Tyrod out there.
Yeah, but he ain't seen a defense like this.
Yeah, true. All right.
Did something different.
Jags versus Pittsburgh.
I'm gonna go against my boy. I'm gonna take Pittsburgh.
Yeah, fuck you, man. Why?
Bro, people treat Pittsburgh like they're some like 2-5 team or something. Like, bro, they're like 4-2. Yeah,
I'm
like
going Pittsburgh. That defense.
Yeah, I'm going Pittsburgh with the defense. Also, I feel like I was hoping y'all will go the other way. Atlanta versus Tennessee.
Give me Arthur Smith. Give me ATL.
Actually, no. I'm gonna go to the Titans. Right? I saw the stat earlier today on Fantasy Football Live. Right? Mike Vrabel all time is 5-0 coming out of a bye. So I'm gonna go Tennessee. That'll be my way to get up on Howard.
I don't know if I trust Malik Willis and Levis and all that.
It doesn't matter.
Combination.
I'm going off of a hunch. All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ATL in this one. All right, Rams versus Dallas.
Yeah, give me the D. I hate it.
Pause.
Pause.
Give me that D. Yeah, I'm going Dallas here.
You
could have picked anything else to say.
I said it for that reason.
all right.
I'm stand on it.
I want to go Dallas so bad in this, but I'm gonna go with the Rams.
Don't do it. You did it.
All right, we got Minnesota versus
with his
Green
fantasy
Bay.
squad. He's picking with his fantasy squad.
Yeah. Minnesota.
Yeah, I'm going Minnesota too.
Yeah, Minnesota. I like what they're doing.
Skull.
All right, New Orleans versus Indy.
New Orleans.
Give me Indy.
Slightly New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm going Indy also. Yeah, I saw that last week game kind of convinced me.
I know that shit.
That kind of convinced
Indy game.
They did put 38 up on them. I mean, but Miles.
Hey, you can't switch up now.
No. I'm taking the Saints.
All right, Philly versus Washington.
Give me Washington.
Didn't Washington almost beat them? Yeah, I was going to say.
Washington.
I would take Washington. In
All
Washington.
right, well, I'm just going to go with Philly. Might as well. I mean,
fuck it. There's worse teams to pick. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Cleveland versus Seattle.
Taking Geno.
Yeah, give me Geno.
That's crazy.
Give me Geno.
So we all going to Seattle.
Hometown.
All right, Baltimore versus Arizona.
Baltimore by 1,000.
Give me Arizona.
Bro, you do this Baltimore every fucking week, bro, and it never works.
All right, KC versus Denver.
This is crazy because
Out of spite, he's gonna. I already know what you're gonna do.
this is crazy. But I'm gonna go KC. But under the table, I hope I'm wrong. I fucking pray I'm wrong.
I'd love to. I low-key would like to see the Broncos win, just so they think that they're
They
getting
haven't-
better. Yeah,
They haven't won in 20 games or something like that. And usually these streaks end right about now. Like you don't go like 25 games or something.
What you got,
I'm
Kel?
gonna go Chiefs.
KC it is. We Cincy versus San Fran.
San Fran.
Brock Purdy will be playing.
Cincy.
Whoa, San Fran.
I'm taking Cincy.
I don't know. San Fran hasn't looked that dominant but I feel like this is the
That
game
defense is getting torched, bro.
is this the game where they?
Burrow's getting better.
Yeah, I'm going Cincy. You
if
right.
they
You right,
can't-
K-Wall. I can't.
No knock to Addison, but they can't keep him under wraps. What do you think Jamar Chase is gonna do to him?
Hey, fact. So Cincy it is. All right, Chicago versus Chargers.
Chargers. I pray to God if they lose, to the
Chargers,
Bears,
yeah.
you got to get rid of Staley, bro. You have to fire him, dude. Like this is getting out.
They win that. They win this game. Unfortunately, as much as I don't want them to.
LAC it is. All right, Las Vegas versus Detroit. I think we're all going Detroit, aren't we?
Detroit, yeah.
Detroit.
Detroit it is. They got embarrassed last week. I feel like
They got smoked. Boy.
Yeah.
All right.
I'd hate to be the Raiders.
Well, picks are in. You want to go Raiders?
No, I said I would hate to be the Raiders.
Oh, hate to be.
I think I heard he said he wants the Raiders.
Yeah, I'll let you. Let me get the Raiders. All right. Well, this has been another great episode. Hey, man. Hopefully, we still got a friendship after this episode, Howard.
Hey, man, don't talk to me.
But yeah, hey, this has been the Stand Bounce podcast of the people. Signing off for Howard and K-Wall. Good night.